They work in the darkest depths of the earth, unseen and unheard by the world above. The air is toxic and the walls could collapse any moment. But day after day, children crawl into these tunnels, searching and digging for what they call the black diamond. Coal mining has grown into a multi-million-dollar business in India's northeastern state of Meghalaya, driven by the world's hunger for energy. But what is the human cost of this development? And is the price too high? I'm Karishma Vyas, and this week on 101 East, we're delving deep inside Meghalaya's mining boom to investigate reports of thousands of children working in these deadly coal pits.
I wake up at 6 in the morning, brush my teeth, have breakfast, and go to work. I work for 6 or 7 hours. My job is to cut and dig coal. I also pull it out.
Karma has been working as a coal miner for more than a year after his family left their home in Assam state in search of work. He has just celebrated his 16th birthday. He spent it in here, crawling inside what locals call a rat hole mine. The tunnel is filled with sulfuric gas, and Karma needs to go deeper and deeper inside to find coal. Today, he's wearing one of our cameras to film sections of the mine that are simply too small for us to fit in. Underground, the rat hole opens up into a network of connecting burrows. These man-made pillars are supposed to prevent the tunnel from caving in, but often they fail. That's because the workers here are given no training. Karma works with his older brother, who sings in the mine to fend off boredom and fear. Their father also worked here before he died of tuberculosis.
When I first went into the rat hole, I was so scared. I thought the roof would fall on me. I just followed my brother inside, but I was really scared. It was so hard to pull the cart. My knees were all scratched, but after 2 weeks, I got used to it. I go about 800 feet inside. Going is not too difficult, but coming out again is. The cart is really heavy and pulling it is hard. I pull the cart out, empty it, and go back inside. I'm not old enough to do this work, but I'm still doing it. What else can I do?
Karma lives in the Jaintia Hills district of Meghalaya state, in India's northeast, which borders Bangladesh. It's a region blessed with breathtaking beauty and bountiful natural resources. The State Department of Mining and Geology estimates there are almost 600 million tons of coal reserves under these hills. The discovery was a eureka moment for tribal communities who have exclusive rights over this land. Within a single generation, some landlords went from being impoverished farmers to millionaire mine barons. But not everyone is rolling in riches. Rights activists say thousands of children like Karma are being exploited in these lucrative mines. They manually dig for coal because landowners don't want to invest in expensive machinery. They work without safety equipment, drinking water, or medical insurance.
The need for children to work here is because the way the mining is taking place here is traditional in nature and it's not scientific, so they require children to be working in these rat holes, which only fit the size of a child.
No one knows exactly how many children work here, but many suffer from malnutrition, chronic cough, and skin diseases. I've crawled about 10 meters into this rat hole and the conditions are just horrific. As you can see, there is literally no space. This is less than a meter that the children have to crawl through and often sit in this position for 7 hours a day, picking coal off the walls that you see around me. It's pitch black and it's incredibly claustrophobic. It is wet on the floor, on the walls, and you can literally feel the weight of the mountain above you bearing down. Accidents in these tunnels are incredibly common. They're often flooded and sometimes the walls and the ceiling collapses onto the miners, burying them alive. I can't imagine being a child and coming in here day in, day out and working for a living. Mining is in Karma's blood. Several of his uncles and cousins also do the job. He and his older brother are a team, earning around $160 together a week, a fortune compared to the average Indian wage. But for this family of 7, the seasonal income is not enough to save and leave this place.
We work and manage to save a little money. But then we end up spending it when someone gets sick or dies. We just can't save anything. We work about 6 days, but the money we earn gets spent at the market.
The miners build tarp and mud shacks to live in just a few hundred meters from the mine. They have no running water, electricity, or toilet. They have to pay for the gumboots and torch they use in the mines. Still, at least Karma's family is together. Other children who work here aren't so lucky. All day and night, hundreds of trucks carrying tons of coal make their way to India's energy-hungry industrial sector and to the ports of Bangladesh for export. But social activists say they often come back with cargo of their own. illegal migrants from Nepal and Bangladesh to work in the mines, including children.
देखो जब पहला काम करता कैसा लगता है.
Hasina Kharbhih is a prominent campaigner for child rights. She says Jaintia Hills is a hotspot for trafficked child labour. Agents for mine owners often convince desperate families that their children can earn high salaries by coming here. What they don't talk about are the appalling conditions.
They are being brought here either through middlemen, especially children from Nepal. Children from Bangladesh comes here through trucks that has gone to Bangladesh to export coal or deposit coal. So there's a lot of nexus of coordination among middlemen, the mines manager. She has 2 kids, who has been
Kharbhih's NGO Impulse has been rescuing children and enrolling them in school for several years. But her campaign against trafficking and child labour has earned her enemies.
It all started with phone call, different people calling me up, calling at the office. The first thing they would say that don't take up what you're doing, don't intervene in what you're trying to do, stay away from it. And there are calls that said that you're such a small organization, you'll be shut down very easily. There were times that it came to personal threat, think about your family who are there.
But Kharbhih has refused to back down, even in the face of powerful forces.
Majority of the mine owners are political leaders themselves. Whether they own the mine directly or they own the mine through the names of their wives and family, but they are the owners. So definitely the power is with them.
Today, Kharbhih is visiting a colony of Nepalese miners. She comes across an 11-year-old boy who neighbours say works in a nearby pit.
तुम काम नहीं करता? हाँ? नहीं करता है. तो वो भैया तो बोला कि काम करता है, वो दीदी भी बोलता है आप भी काम करता है. नहीं मत डरो, बोलो. नहीं करता है. तो क्यों माइला?
The boy is nervous, but his mother confirms Kharbhih's suspicions.
वो दोनों बच्चा काम करता है?
काम करता है.
काम करता है? ये भी करता है काम? हाँ?
itu baca.
Kita काम करता है.
Kharbhih tells the mother it's illegal for her child to be working and offers to help enroll him in school. In India, child labour has been illegal for more than 60 years. When it comes to hazardous work like mining, no child under 18 is allowed to take part, according to several national laws and the Constitution. But in Meghalaya state, these rules don't seem to apply. Child miners have worked here for years, yet no one has ever been prosecuted for employing them. Activists say it's because the mines are on tribal property. All the land you see around me, kilometres of it, is owned by tribal communities. In fact, under the 6th schedule of the Indian Constitution, tribal districts like Jaintia Hills are given limited autonomy so they can protect their traditions and use their land the way they want. Now, national laws and protocols still apply here, but landowners and mine operators are openly flouting child, labour and environmental laws because they say it doesn't apply to them. The laws apply, but the state government has failed to enforce them. In fact, they don't even know how many mines or mine owners there are. Any tribal landlord can start mining without registering with the government or meeting safety and labour standards. This complete lack of regulation has led to increasingly dangerous working conditions in the mines. Nepalese migrant Kumar Rai has been working here for 2 years and says accidents are common. In fact, he was almost buried alive in this rat hole just a few weeks ago.
When they started cutting the rock, without warning, it just fell on me. It felt like it weighed 400 kilograms. I would have been flattened if it was any heavier.
Other miners dragged Rai out of the tunnel unconscious. He hasn't worked since, suffering from severe pain in his back and chest. There was no compensation or money for treatment. There wasn't even an investigation.
If we die, we die. They just bury us here. If we live, we suffer and we can't earn. We rot here and die. People who have money, friends or family here, their body will be sent back to Nepal. And those who don't have anyone, they'll just throw their bodies here or there. When someone dies, they hide the body so no one will know. That way the owner doesn't need to pay compensation to the family. He doesn't pay a single cent.
Rai says he knows of children who have died in mining accidents after the rat holes flooded or collapsed. But mine owners like Hansen Lingdor deny these allegations.
No. Children we don't allow. We don't allow even to come near because it is, it is risky for the thing. They cannot play on that, and they don't get chance also. Yes, sir. These are the road which we are making.
Lingdor shows me pictures of his mine, which is located several hours' drive from where Karma and Ramkumar Rai work.
15 feet.
The tunnels look large enough for adults, and he says he compensates workers for injuries.
3-4 years ago.
But Lingdo admits the state desperately needs an official mining policy that sets industry standards and compels mine owners to use machines instead of men.
As children, they are working in the mine. I said no, but who knows? When the law is there, then when the policy is there, the law is there.
It's not just young boys who are falling victim to Meghalaya's mining boom. The unbridled flow of coal money into Jaintia Hills has created a thriving sex trade involving local underage girls. "23-year-old Dari, which is not her real name, has been a sex worker for 4 years. Her clients are mostly mine owners and managers who pay her up to $200 a visit. She says she can also make money by pimping younger girls.
Girls that are 17, they can get $300 to $400, even $500. If I can find young girls, I also earn money. I get $160 as my fee. The youngest girls are around 16 to 18.
Dari admits it's a risky profession, and young sex workers are the most vulnerable. Clients often insist on no protection, leaving them exposed to STDs and HIV infection. Safety is also a major problem.
When the girls go drinking with the customers, very often the men get wild. They take them to the forest, have sex with them, and just leave them there. We get calls from the girls in the middle of the night, and we have to go look for them.
In India's capital, New Delhi, DIPA is a lawyer and former member of the National Commission for the Protection of Child Rights. Despite damning reports from her team, DIXIT says the Meghalaya government has willfully ignored child abuse in favour of the mining industry and the profits it generates.
Actually, what is lacking is outreach. We have so many double standards. What is not acceptable for our children is so very acceptable for children of people who are less privileged than we are. Mining has had, at least here, some terribly negative impacts on children. And if you look at the priorities that the state lists when they are dealing with mining, children just don't figure.
DIXIT says the state government must enforce swift punishments for mine owners who are breaking national laws.
I do think that if you link mining leases with the condition of communities and their children, and the fact that you will cancel a license if their social requirements are not met, would go a long way ensuring that children are taken care of.
But in Meghalaya's capital, Shillong, government officials say they still haven't seen concrete evidence of child miners.
I don't know, I went a couple of times. I went to Latrambai, I went to Nangal Bibra, like I told you. I haven't been to the West Khasi Hills region. But I didn't find when I went now, unless if I decide to camp out for days on end.
But when we asked the Labour Minister about the footage we filmed, she had this to say.
You need to verify the ages of these so-called children also. We are a community which are very small built. If you looked at my face, you wouldn't know how old I am. I can challenge you on that. So I might look sweet 16, but my age is something else. That is another problem we are having now. Every time we rescue these so-called children, they come to a medical officer and they manage to get a certificate which says that they are above such and such age.
Still, to better regulate the mining industry, Lyngdoh says the state government is drafting its first ever mining policy to specify what miners should and shouldn't do. It prohibits child labour. What it doesn't do is ban rat hole mining, which is why children are employed in the first place. The guidelines are awaiting final approval and are expected to be introduced later this year.
It is shameful for my state, but I just hope that the right message also goes out. You catch 1 or 2 or 3 young kids engaged in mining activities, don't go tell the world that everybody in our minds is actually a young person.
But in Jaintia Hills, we saw many child miners. "16-year-old Karma doesn't think about how many other children work in these mines. He only knows why he does."
I would like to have the chance to study, but then my brother would be the only one working, and we can't afford it. And if I try to do another job, the salary would be much less. So, do we eat or do I go to school?
It wasn't long ago that Karma had a very different plan for his life. He wanted to be a pilot.
It was my childhood dream from when I was little. When I would look up in the sky, I would see a plane flying, and I used to think, how does this plane fly? I would feel like sitting in that plane and flying. I used to always tell my dad that I wanted to be a pilot.
Karma's dreams, like the dreams of so many, have been lost inside these coal pits. They've long forgotten their childhood, and the only thing their future holds is their struggle to survive.